Hi there, everybody. This is Scott down in the lounge, and I just have a quick message here about the next story that I'm going to be reading. I'm calling it a story because it's a play, it's not a novel. This is Hamlet by William Shakespeare, and I need to talk about it a little bit because being a play and it not being a novel, it's a little different than everything else that I've read here so far. I'm sure you know that plays are meant to be performed to audiences, and as the audience, you not only hear the story being spoken to you, but you see the actors up on stage doing all the things they do up there. It's difficult to try to present something that is meant to be performed in person in an audiobook format. And the reason for that is because it's not written in novel form. And so there is none of the usual he said, she said type of language included that cues you in to who's saying what, because in a play, you're watching the different characters up on stage, and so you can tell who's saying what, and you can tell the difference between Hamlet and Polonius or any of the other characters. Reading a play in an audiobook format is very difficult because you don't see any characters. All that you can do is listen to my voice. And so, what I'm going to be forced to do here is to read the names of the characters before each of their lines. Also, I'm going to include, only occasionally, here and there, some of the theatrical notes that help explain what would be going on stage. For example, somebody exiting or somebody entering or what the scene is. I know that that sounds kind of awkward, and it probably will be a little bit awkward, but I believe there's great value in reading the plays of Shakespeare aloud. I know they're meant to be performed and that they were not necessarily meant to be read, but I think reading them aloud is kind of a happy midway point between the two. Not very many of us have the opportunity to go out and see a Shakespeare play whenever we feel like it, unless we happen to be in very specific locations around the country or around the world. Most of us are forced to either watch a movie or a video on the internet or something like that, or we're stuck reading the play off of the page. And so I think for me to present it in this format to you will provide some sort of midway point that hopefully is acceptable enough and not too offensive to anybody. Anyway, I'm going to give it a go. Let's see how it goes. And we're starting first with Hamlet, probably considered to be one of Shakespeare's greatest plays and certainly his greatest tragedy. So let's give it a try. I hope you stick with it and I hope you enjoy it. Here's Hamlet.